evening and welcome, fellow babies. And oh yeah, we've got a new thing coming at you now. Midweek update with the Shills, where we dive a little deeper into the goings-on of the world. And what's more going on than the unbelievably disgusting Russian invasion of Ukraine? So that's where we're diving in right away. And we're so lucky to welcome Operator Starsky back to the channel. Buddy, how you doing over there? I hope everything's as good as it can be for you.
Hi everyone. Well, doing fine. First of all, I would like to make a huge shout out to people of Moldova, our neighbors, people of Poland, and other European countries who care and help our refugees. Because it's very important for us, for Ukrainian soldiers, as well as all those people who live in America, United States and Canada. And I'd like to thank those people, and we all appreciate what they do. So I'm very happy to be tonight with you guys. And thank you for having me with you tonight.
Awesome. And yeah, and we can say that going forward, you'll see Operator Starsky on the channel more. He'll be hanging out when he's got free time and stuff, so it'll be excellent. I'm very excited. So let's introduce everybody else, get around the table and stuff, and there's only one way to do that. We got to bring in Aimee Hogan. How's it going tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone in the chat, and thank you for coming. I want to welcome everybody in the panel as well. So I am going to get right started. I'm so excited about this too. So thank you, everyone. First off, I'm going to start off with Mipet 69. Mipet, how are you this morning?
Hi, guys. I just want to say I hate you all. It's very, very early for me, and I'm, like as in before 7 o'clock, and I don't normally get up before, 9 o'clock, you guys. But no, it's really great to have Operator Starsky on. We haven't actually met yet, so Heidi Ho from Australia. I'm looking forward to it because I unfortunately missed your last stream. As in, I missed being in with you in the last stream. I did get to catch it, and I was listening. So I'm really looking forward to tonight to be able to ask some questions as we go along. So thank you for having me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Clapperjack. Clapperjack, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Financial struggles, but nothing that I can, truly complain about.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Thank you. And next up, we have David Worley with us tonight. David, how are you this evening?
Hello. It's lovely to be back. I hope everyone's been well. It's been quite a while. I cannot remember the last time I was here. It's always great coming back and normally debunking stuff, but I gathered tonight's a little bit more serious and newsworthy, straightforward, to the point.
Absolutely. This is going to be great. And thank you so much for coming back on, and welcome back. It's good to see you again. So thank you for that. And next up, we have Jut Monk, the Drunk Monkey. Jut, how are you?
I'm fucking banging, innit?
Yes.
Goodness me, I can't believe it, man. I missed this. I missed this the last time. And Starsky, my geezer, fucking ultimate love goes out to you. Ultimate respect goes out to you. And we are all fucking behind you. Trust me. That Putin needs a fucking shooting, mate. He's a complete and utter lost fucking motherfucker. And we've all got your back, G, coming at you 100 miles a fucking hour. He.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
Too right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jut. And next up, we have Aaron Reese. Aaron, how are you this evening?
No, grumpier than usual, keeping up with the news. Everything's going over there. But saw that KA-52 video from Starsky today, the highly armored helicopter that's now basically something you'd find in my ashtray. So that cheered me up a little bit.
There we go.
But yeah, getting better, definitely.
Good. Good. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Gary, Isle of Wight. Gary, how are you this evening?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. Had a bit of a busy day. Yeah, bit knackered after all of what I was doing today. So it's nice to sit down and have a couple of beers and chat with some friends and listen to some current news. So let's get on.
Absolutely. That sounds like a perfect plan. So next up, last but not least, we have our producer and our host, Dick Dawson. Dick, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great. I've been looking forward to having Starsky back, but this is going to be an excellent chat. And we, Putin's already come up a couple of times, so let's give him the big old grubby dance.
Yes, he's a grub muffin.
Fuck that fucking fuck. But yeah, very much looking forward to getting into some chats and seeing what's been going on over there, and putting a little serious side on what's usually quite a humorous based channel. So let's turn right to Operator Starsky here. Any news and events you want to lead off with right away to get us going?
Yeah, so first of all, today we've had around 10 major attacks in the area of Donbass. Our guys are defending their positions, and they are defending successfully. The situation in Mariupol is kind of tough because our guys are surrounded, but they keep fighting. And of course, Russian media keep repeating over and over for like a month already that Mariupol is going to give up in like couple hours, but they still fail taking full control over the city. And today we've had a chat with the chief of police of Mariupol, who said that they keep fighting. No one is going to give up. But yeah, we keep praying for our guys because the situation is kind of hard. As for other cities, the main danger in cities like Kiev and Mykolaiv and Kharkiv, the main danger is missile strikes. For example, yesterday Russians performed missile strike on Lviv. It's a city located on the west, near the border with Poland. And thing is that they targeted the railway station, just the way they did in Kramatorsk a couple of weeks ago when we had our stream. And they missed the railway station, but they hit a gas station. And unfortunately, they killed some civilians that were there. And the same danger is in Kiev, of course, because we have some multiple air alarms like every day, and today we've had like 2 air alarms, which means that missiles were launched at Kiev, and they were intercepted by Ukrainian air forces. So that's mainly the news of today.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. We sorry, Aaron, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, yeah, I know it's been pretty rough on the civilians over there. They seem to be suffering more than the soldiers to some degree. I know Jumpmonk said, raised his hand. Did you have a question or comment?
Yeah, well, do you know, I actually put my hand down because I forgot what the fuck I was going to say, but I can add to that. I mean, it's not just a, oh man, I could say so much. I could go off my fucking head. it is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I've spoken to a couple of my mates that are from Russia, and they're kind of like, they live here in the UK, obviously, and they're like, yeah, this is insane. This shouldn't be happening and whatnot. I mean, fuck me. I am still absolutely blown away this is going on, and I dread to think where it's going, to be fair. That wasn't what I was going to say, but that's what I said now. So maybe I'll come back with, oh, yeah, that was what I was going to say.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got, he'd been speaking about Poland and the other nations supporting. We've got our own Clapper Jack over there that's been sending us a lot of news. What was your question, Clapper?
Not more of a question. There was something interesting happening, like that I, wanted to ask, like, because the Chechens from the Russian side, they've been saying a lot of like things that are contradicting each other. Like Putin says they're not taking Azov steel facility, the factory. Then the Chechens on like Twitter post videos of them, pretending to take Mariupol. I don't really. It's not very visible. So there's a lot of chaotic stuff in that regard. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what's the real picture though? Like, how are they doing there? Fuck.
So the real picture is following. The central part of Mariupol, and specifically the area of Azov steel plant, are controlled by our soldiers, and the area around them is controlled by Russian forces. And thing is that it's very hard to get to Mariupol. I mean, for our forces, it's really hard to get to Mariupol because it's kind of far away from our positions, and all those columns that try to arrive to Mariupol, as well as our convoys and specifically our buses for evacuation of civilians. They are subject to airstrikes, and also there were cases when Russians have how we call it, robbed those convoys bringing food. For example, those Russian Chechens, they made a video of giving food to civilians, and that was actually Ukrainian food with Ukrainian titles on because they robbed a Ukrainian convoy and brought this food to give it to civilian population on camera. So things like that.
It's just upsetting.
Very much.
Yeah, I know
so.
they've had trouble getting supplies from the west side over the east. That's why they bombed Lviv recently, is because we've been bringing supplies in from Poland to there and having trouble getting them from there to the front. And then too, I saw that the Azov commander sent out a request for a green zone established by the outside nations to help get some civilians out of Mariupol, as well as the bodies of the dead soldiers, to be blunt about it. Have you heard anything more about that, about them being able to establish evacuation from Mariupol for non-combatants? Because I know they're all holed up in that cement factory that's getting bombed.
Yes, this is true. They are kept in the shelter on the territory of Azovstal, and we keep negotiating with Russians about this green corridor, and we hope that they will make it possible. But unfortunately, Russians are known for blocking those corridors, and sometimes they actually take those civilians to Russian-controlled territory, to filtration camps. Like a week ago, I had a conversation with my friend, and his grandma was from Mariupol, and she was taken to Russia-controlled territory of Ukraine, to that Donbas area of DPR, so-called, and then she was taken to Russia from that territory, specifically to the filtration camp. And she later told that my friend that they took her fingerprints, and she is like 83. So yeah, crazy things are happening there.
Hey, Dick, you're up next, and then I've got a question from Bradley Foster in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I also had a question here. Let me just scroll back. Hi. Can we ask in particular about Moldova and Russia? Are they working together or not? This is a question from Right On and On.
I think you better ask Moldova, but from what I know, people from Moldova help a lot to our refugees, and I think that President of Moldova also said that they will give us all needed help and assistance, and of course they don't support this war, as far as I know.
Okay, and the question from Bradley Foster is, what happened to the military-grade cannon from the drone you unboxed? And then what happened to the drone in general would be my question. Was that put to reuse?
Oh, well, that drone has been taken to some very famous fund here in Ukraine, the fund that helps Ukrainian soldiers. And I think that later this drone will be given to our government, of course, because we are trying to, supply our government with all trophies, so to say, in order to study them. But of course, it doesn't make much sense studying that piece of crap that we found called Orlan UAV, because I think you probably saw that video of unboxing that UAV. We were impressed. Let's say we were impressed.
Yeah, it was an extremely interesting video. I'm keeping up each day, if not just make sure you haven't caught a bullet in the butt.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to say that despite the fact that it was made from different garbage, it still flies, because Russians are famous for making stuff like makeshift UAVs and stuff like that, and they still fly and do and perform their tasks. And I think that we should look for the roots of this phenomenon back in the times of USSR. I don't know whether Jack remembers those times, but in USSR we've had a lot of books like Юный Техник, Young Technician, and
those were my favorites.
Yeah. And in those books, there were a lot of manuals dedicated to creating toys from different garbage, like create a Mars rover from a soap box, or create airplane from matches. And the reason they made those manuals for kids was because kids couldn't buy toys in the stores. There was some like a bunch of toys. They were the same for everyone. There was this doll, this rubber doll of Kuklachev. I still remember that one, because like everyone in my house had that doll. And Kuklachov is the guy who trains cats. He's very famous. He was very famous in USSR for some reason, and stuff like that. So literally, kids had no toys. Kids were happy running around with sticks and fighting each other, and that was pretty much our childhood in USSR. While kids all over the world could literally harass their parents to buy them some kind of toys in
Nerf
stores,
guns.
Yeah. So post USSR kids can create literally anything from anything,
Yeah, 90s were tough.
Yeah, that's true.
But it comes in
Indeed.
handy in life.
I think Daniel or David, Jesus Christ, David Worley's up.
Thanks for joining. I mean, Dick. Sorry. What I was gonna, I'll put my hand down. What I was gonna say is, so Starsky, you obviously are in the thick of it, and we're in our relative comfort wherever we are in the world, and we're looking at this and thinking, thank fuck it's not us, And so what I really want to ask is, do you what's the difference between the start of the war compared to now? I remember staying up. I was up at night, and it was probably 4 or 5 in the morning, and those reports were first coming in, and those images from Ukraine, and it was shocking. But do you feel more optimistic now, less optimistic compared to the start of the war? I mean, we're what, months, six weeks, 2 months in?
Yeah,
How are we feeling?
6
What's the
weeks
morale
now.
like? Yeah.
Situation back then on 24th, 25th of February, it was kind of scary for majority of our people because, of course, they didn't expect that attack, that full-scale invasion, and like at some point, a bunch of our territories were invaded. Cities like Kharkiv, Sumy, Mykolaiv, Kherson, Mariupol, as well as Kiev. They were under threat of being captured, and not as much even of being captured because Russians didn't have enough manpower to do that, of course, but the threats of artillery strikes, missile strikes, air strikes, and stuff like that. So that was very scary. We've had like constant air alarms every day, like 10, 15 times a day. People literally had to live in the shelters, and during those first days, Russians used a lot of their sabotage and recon groups all over Ukraine, and specifically in Kiev, in order to bring chaos. And they were partially successful. For example, they used some kind of, those radio zones, radio probes that were like disseminated all over the city, because some people believed that those little those probes they were used as for targeting their aircrafts and missiles, or other people believe that they were used for their airborne troops and stuff like that. So literally, Russians paid some people, some common people, they paid like $200, so those people could take spray paint and paint some symbols all over the city. And we spent a lot of effort trying to, locate those symbols and locate those people. And in the end, we realized that actually Russians tried to distract our attention and, of course, bring chaos. So, yeah, it was pretty intense in those first couple of weeks. But I'd say that already in March, we understood that Russians had not enough manpower to capture major cities. And what they could do was simply shelling and bombing those cities and our positions, of course. So currently, we feel much more optimistic, actually, because we already understand that they won't do that again. Of course, we are prepared to defend Kyiv, for example, because we know that there's some kind of strike group held in Belarus, and they can attempt to break towards Kyiv. And as far as we know, Russians still have about 70 battalion tactical groups, which is something around 50,000 men that are operating specifically on the Donbas area. And cities like Luhansk, Mariupol, and of course they have a big force in Crimea. So also Kherson and Mykolaiv are under threat as well. We are counterattacking at Kherson, trying to take that city back, but Russians that are stationed in Kherson, they are reinforced with the battalion tactical groups coming from Crimea, and of course the aviation that is stationed in Crimea, that is very, very active in that area. So yeah, currently our main let's say point of interest, right, is defending Donbass and taking back the area of Kherson, Energodar, Zaporizhia. But we are optimistic, of course, because Russians are still losing a lot of men. They lost more than 21,000 men since the beginning of this invasion, which is a lot, because those men are mostly their elite and mostly their combat-worthy soldiers.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Fuck
Yeah,
I got a question I want to get in, everybody. One sec here. From Douglas Bullock. Can anyone explain why the West liberated Kuwait in the 90s and fought Iraq, but refuses to help liberate Ukraine today, or liberated Ukraine today to help fight against Russia?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah, Iraq did not have the major threat level that Russia did. Iraq could not tip the scales the way a U.S. on Russia incursion could.
Hey,
No
look,
nuke threat.
you only have to look at Putin's speech when he said, like, anyone interferes, will stir upon your country like nothing in your history. What, has he got like a nuke aimed at every single major city in the fucking world? We don't know that shit. You know what I mean? We don't know, and it could be fucking mind games and bluffing. But this is a level of man. Almost Starsky, like talking from my position, and when you guys were begging us to close the skies, I so wanted them skies closed for you. Do you know what I mean? I really wanted them skies closed for you. But you have to think of the bigger picture. I mean, if we enter into the theatre of war, NATO, Russia, then who knows where it's going to go and to what level. So therefore, the less people that fucking enter this war, the better. So we're not standing back because we don't know what to do. It really is the right thing to do. It's like, yeah, okay, fucking the longer we can hold off for an entire fucking collection of countries, i.e. NATO, to enter into a war, the better, because once that happens, then really is really sad and really, really frightening for all of us.
Well, at best, it will be a European-wide war, and at worst, it will be World War III. So,
yeah,
I mean, that is the problem. I mean, Iraq was just some little tin pot shithole,
exactly,
with no threat to anybody, really. But
exactly.
I mean, yeah, of course we want to close the skies. It would be absolutely wonderful. But then you face any Russian jets in
you shoot
incursions.
One
you shoot
jet
exactly.
Down, you're in war.
There you go. Yeah, exactly that.
And I totally get that.
Yeah.
And and I really, I mean, certainly Mariupol, what's happened in Mariupol. I mean, what we're looking at, fucking 70% of the country destroyed now. Absolutely fucking disgusting. That this has happened in the 21st century in Europe. I mean, Jesus Christ. And I've said that I'm not religious, but fuck me, man. That is not. It's not something that I would really have thought about 10 years ago. But here we are.
We got a couple of questions here we should get through, Monkey.
Go.
One was from Brainy Beaver. I don't know if we got it in or not. Is there any merit? I'll throw this out to both Starsky and Clapper. Is there any merit to the idea that Russia is running out of precision munitions, resulting in them using cruise missiles with countermeasures, despite Ukraine having nothing to shoot them down?
It's possible, because they pretty sure their army is undersupplied. Like, there was a time when I saw that really cool new quote unquote Russian tank that they produced, and they were parading around. I remember I wasn't even like in this headspace right now. I looked at it, and like, even being like a little bit underage, I was like, that shit's fake. That shit's made out of plastic. And lo and behold, where are those tanks? They're nowhere. We only see those little outdated tanks. And same goes with munition. They never made anything new. And now I realize that, and it really applies to every single part of their military.
Starsky, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, that is so true. And for example, on my previous stream, I had a question. What about their Armata tank? That new superb modern tank that uses that unmanned module, and the thing is that this tank requires another vehicle to be able to move. So we will probably never see this tank on Ukrainian battlefield. And yes, of course, they're running out of their high precision, so-called high precision missiles, and they cannot produce new ones, of course, because of sanctions. And they are using those old, huge bombs, unguided bombs, unfortunately, to perform airstrikes on cities.
You got to do what the bald man says.
Yeah, we've had a lot of. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
No, you. That's it.
I was just gonna say we've had a lot of people sending out messages of support from all over the world, and several people have said that they support the U.S. going in. I don't know if you'd seen Starsky. They've been reporting they're actually beginning to put in airborne troops. We're amassing them as much as it's not really a huge unit yet, but they're placing 82nd Airborne along the border of Poland and Ukraine. Whether that's for NATO support or for Ukraine, I'm not sure. But have you guys heard anything about that?
Yes, of course, we've heard that there's a big increasing number of NATO forces on the border, and yeah, it's kind of We have a joke here in Ukraine, okay? We have a joke that NATO shouldn't be afraid of Russia because we will protect them.
I'll tell you what, right? I absolutely fucking hold my hat off to you guys. Putin thought he was going to walk in there. You were going to greet the geese, yeah, fucking get greeted, whatnot. Do you know what? The Ukrainian heart and soul will, I mean, for this generation at least, will never be matched. Will never be matched. You guys are absolutely fucking amazing. Honestly, and I absolutely fucking hold my hat off to you. Wow.
Yeah.
You really showed that fucking Putin. Nah, he ain't just gonna waltz in here and fucking take our country. Fuck you. And yeah, you lot have really stood your fucking ground, and I will hold my hat off to you, and I will forever be fucking amazed by the courage of the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian.
Damn right.
Yep, you are an example to the world. Absolute example to the entire world. Your courage.
Totally. And and Zelensky, your president, what a figure for the fucking 21st century.
He's looking good, isn't he? He's looking good, man.
He is the figure for the 21st century. 100%. Wow. Unbelievable.
I got another question. It was previous. I don't remember the username who asked it because it's from a little while ago, but I do want to make sure we get it in. Starsky, a couple of your viewers actually, but one in particular was concerned because of your being taken from Patreon. And have you found another method of putting a little monetization into your being a creator on YouTube? And I also wanted to throw in from a personal side that I have some suggestions on how that could still work out for you. I think we can, get you rocking if you want to. No problem.
It's fine. It's totally fine. I think I've been. My Patreon was closed because it was used, quote unquote, for military purpose.
I see that you put a post up there. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, and of course, informing people and raising awareness isn't really a military purpose, in my opinion, because it's it's public relations, okay? It's like press, what the press does. So, but on the other hand, I'm not very upset about that because I still have my PayPal, and people send a lot of donations that help us big time in terms of fuel. We have some minor shortages of fuel here and there in Ukraine. And thanks to those people, we are more or less independent on our fuel. And of course, we send those money to other units and other guys who need some equipment. We have sent money to our sniper who needed a better scope. Also, we have helped the 95th Brigade in acquiring a car for their air reconnaissance unit, and they were very happy, by the way, and they thanked everyone who donated money. Again, we are not volunteers. We are not, collecting money specifically to help other units. But we are happy whenever we receive some donations because we can buy some equipment or spend money on fuel, because this is important as well. And like a week ago, we met that grandpa Savkovich from Romanivka. He's a legendary because he's true Ukrainian. He's very kind and open and brave despite his age. He's 73 years old. And he told me that he worked in 3 different places at once, during the day, in order to provide his family with enough income, and he's legendary. So basically, I received some donations, and I bought him some medicine because he had some heart issues, and he gave me a list of medicine that he needs. And currently, I'm running around, and whenever I get to a drugstore, I'm looking for those medicine for Grandpa Savkovich. Savkovich is his paternal name. Okay, it was a very emotional meeting. Actually, you gotta watch that video if you didn't do that yet, because this man, he's literally like everything you need to know about Ukrainians.
Yeah, I saw he was out patrolling for Russians with only a double-barrel shotgun, but he's absolutely amazing. We've actually got a new joiner, Dr. Bob. How you doing, Dr. Bob?
Oh, is he handy?
Come on, Dr. Bob, speak up for fuck's sake.
All right, you got me now?
There you go.
Now? Well, I have a message for Operator Starsky. I didn't get a chance to give him last time. Obviously Slava Ukraini, but I want to try my Ukrainian one more time. Yabote yik sik. Does that make any sense?
Not really. Can you repeat, please?
Yabote yik sik.
Maybe Yeboshta?
Yaboshta yik sik. Sound better?
Yeah. This one makes sense. Yeah.
That's my thought for you. I don't really speak English very well. Just ask him.
Kind of went over.
Ukrainian is out of my hands. I'll tell you what it is in English after we're off the air.
You're a scientist and not a linguist.
Exactly.
Hey,
by
go
the
ahead,
way,
Jack. Oh,
I
sorry.
have one more thing I wanted to say to you, man. Hey, with Moskova, nice shot, dude. Do it again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will pass it to my guys.
Don't load
Starsky.
rockets in your engine.
Dr. Bob here actually sent me an image. I'm going to send it over to you private, and you will get a kick out of this. It's awesome. Actually, here, let's bring it up on the screen here. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. I know I'm just floored and screwing up everything here. Hold on. It's worth it, though. Trust me. This is.
I saw this the other day and thought of you, man.
Nice one.
I've just had a wank. Seriously, I've just masturbated.
Oh God!
Did I feel that loud?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
This is supposed to be serious, and I've just spat my fat.
Oh no!
I ain't got a camera.
Yeah, it's over now. We're fucked.
Try not to be naughty, but sometimes I can't help myself because let's face it, I am the fucking monkey.
Well, we did have a couple of good questions and stuff we wanted to get through. Aaron, do you have any handy in front of you there?
Yeah, I've got several. A few of them are kind of about the same thing, and feel free to be as vague or not answer because it is a little bit about troop repositioning. But they were just kind of wondering if you've seen the Russians repositioning in the east, especially with the new assaults that they're engaging in, and if you or others are going to be sent further east. I think some of them are kind of worried about you, Starsky.
I think that if I'm sent to east, I will bring you more interesting videos, of course, because currently we are receiving videos from my number 2 press officer, my great mate Max. He is currently in the area of Rubizhne, let's say, and he's bringing us a lot of videos of our troops destroying enemy tanks and APCs, but I'll be happy to be there, of course, and well, I'm stationed in Kiev because I'm a military and I have an order to be stationed in Kiev, of course, because every military follows his orders. But if I'm ordered to go to East, I will be happy to go to East, of course, because we all want to fight Russians. We have our soldiers that are stationed here that are defending strategic objects in Kiev, and they all say that like, come on, we've spent like more than a month in Kiev, and there's much more action going on the east, so we want to go to east. But we are militaries and we are following our orders. So, well, everything will be fine anyways, because Ukraine is our homeland, and we believe that nothing bad can ever happen to us in Ukraine, because even death is not so bad when you die on your motherland.
That's strong.
Yeah, that's hard to do a segue from.
Yeah, man. We should do the super chat there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got it's from. I'm gonna apologize. I will probably mispronounce some things here. It's from Alex Hain. Question for Operator Starsky: how can a guy without military experience come and help Ukraine? Slava Ukraini in Pozdrav iz Slovenia. I believe that is how it's pronounced.
Hello, Slovenia. I don't know how to say thank you in Slovenian, unfortunately, but thank you. A question that I am receiving all the time. Of course, you can try and join the International Legion. The only problem is that currently we have too many recruits that want to join this International Legion, and currently they are accepting only those people who have combat background, not only experience of service in military agencies or law enforcement agencies, but also a combat background, because we have a lot of people who want to join this International Legion, and our embassies unfortunately cannot process all of the recruits because of such a huge number of volunteers who want to fight together with Ukrainians against Russian fascists.
I would also encourage them to look into some humanitarian efforts. I know they're sending some people over there in that regard. Go ahead,
yes.
Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, kind of had like a couple of questions, and don't really feel like yo-yoing back to the, that question that was like a little bit far back, but still I feel like it. First one is like gonna be later, like Graham Phillips. Like, what's the situation on that guy, Starsky? Tell me later. I'm gonna continue. The thing about that question, the first one, is why the EU and the West is not engaging. Really, it's kind of like goes a little bit unnoticed by people. But we are extremely different. The Far Eastern sort of Slavs and the Europeans and Far West. It's the people have a lifestyle in the West that they've been accustomed to for decades, right? Especially in America. And they never really experienced this whole, like, we have a completely different worldview because we've been surviving for a lot of years, just, grabbing the earth with your hands and just, scratching it till you find something, worthy in there, like I don't know, it's a strange metaphor, but, and these people now, they are asked by Ukrainians that been like fighting for years for their existence, and they're fed up. They're not gonna just take it laying down. And Europeans and Westerners, they never had this surviving instinct thing in themselves, like embroiled in them, and they are being asked to just come and fight like a full on war. and it's just not so easy. So you can't really force people to just like on a flip of a dime just get in there. And plus the nukes, right? Of course, because the man is crazy. He can do whatever. He's out in the 21st century. He's like doing a war. Can you it's unfeasible by normal people standards, but he's doing it. So he might as well do the button. So why not? Right?
Do you know the simple fact that he's doing this war in the 21st century in Europe when
maddening.
I mean, take me back just before, because I mean we've just got through a pandemic, people, right? We just got through a fucking pandemic, okay? And before that, life was fucking like tickety-boo, wasn't it, in Europe, wasn't it, really? Apart from, the Brits wondering whether they want to be a part of it or whether they want to fucking run their own thing. That's neither in nor there. But all of a sudden, then we've gone through a fucking pandemic, and I distinctly remember, and I don't know if there's any Brits in the chat or whatever, they were talking about our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, doing his Churchill moment, yeah, because of the pandemic. Now it's his Churchill moment. I mean, come on, we're talking a fucking war now, and I can sit here on my bed in my bedroom and talk about the war, look on the TV and see the fucking images and the pictures and hear the stories, right? But we've got this guy right here, Operator Starsky, right there on the front line, that has fucking seen it for himself. And I've watched I've watched a lot of his videos. It is another level, and it is really, really fucking scary, the direction that this is going in. It really is.
Hey, go ahead, Jack.
I believe that Ukrainians, what's going to happen next is that Ukrainians are going to show that Russians are just inept and incompetent, and they're just out of date, and that fear that the Europeans and Westerners have in their hearts, that these people, because they remember the Soviet times, they remember they learned already what Russians are. They know that's why they're not engaging. But I think Ukrainians are going to show that these people are not worth being afraid of, I guess. And
Ukrainians have already shown that. They've already shown that. They've already been like, no, you ain't just going to rock up in our country and fucking take it over in 3 or 4 days. Fuck you. And let's face it.
I believe,
come on, hats off. You guys, Starsky, you guys are absolutely phenomenal. What you're doing, unbelievable. Considering you're begging us for help, and shuts, guys, do this, and all we can do is give you weapons. We can do what we do. I mean, we do that for a reason, because we do not want to fucking enter into the theater of war. So that's the reason why we hold back. But I mean, come on, fuck me. You guys have shown so much courage, so much grit, so much, oh my goodness. You're writing history, and I hope the fucking history goes your way. I really do. Fuck me, I really do. Because if it doesn't, it's going to go against us all. But Jesus Christ, you guys are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Thank you, my friend. I want to say that I'm also very impressed by courage shown by my people. Of course, I know that they were capable of showing this courage. But my guys who are fighting in Rubizhne every day, and they are simply an example of being a real warrior in its essence. I'm really impressed. Of course, our tank crews are also highly professional. For example, a couple of days ago, my friend Max sent me a video from Rubizhne. It's on the Facebook of our brigade, showing our tank shooting Russian APC through the ruins, like between the ruins of a house. So the distance was maybe about 1 kilometer or something like that, and this tank operator used like a small hole in the wall in order to aim at that APC and destroy it, and that's amazing. So yeah, they're professionals and they're true warriors for me. I'm really proud to serve with those guys and have a yellow and blue patch on my shoulder.
Do you know what, right? If I was a Ukrainian right now, even though it's worst case scenario for your country, really is, right? But I couldn't be prouder to be a Ukrainian right now, because honestly, you guys are absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Here.
That's the thing. Ukrainian civilians and military are both used to doing a lot with a very little. I mean, it's a rough climate. I mean, and you just have to get it done. So Russia walked in like they were going to own the place, and they didn't understand who they were facing up against. It's not just about equipment. Soldiers are more important than their arms. And we actually kind of related to that. You've got a lot of, with your success, there's a lot of people that are asking, are you guys kind of thinking about pushing into Crimea? Is there any talk of that, or, you know, any people just kind of itching to?
Of course, our main goal is liberating whole Ukraine, including Crimea. The fight for Crimea, I mean, in terms of military, it's going to be really, really hard, because in order to take Crimea, you gotta have a strong fleet, for example. And in our case, Crimea is or will be defended by also Russian fleet, which is going to make it really hard, you know, to liberate Crimea using only you know, military power. So yeah, it's going to be a problem, but I'm not a general yet, so I cannot tell you what's going to happen in the future. So we will see. We will see.
Then somebody's mentioned, and I know Sweden and Finland are talking about joining NATO. They've mentioned Kaliningrad joining. Is that relevant to what you guys are doing as to who's going to be joining NATO? Do you see that shifting the influence, or is it just kind of, you know, that's out of your control?
Kaliningrad?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even familiar with it. It was from Robsky. He's a frequenter in our chats and live streams, usually pretty knowledgeable.
Kaliningrad is like Russian territory.
Yeah, it's kind of isolated from. It's in the Balkans, isn't it? Is it the Balkans?
It's
it's kind of in the middle there, but it's isolated. But Finland has a 300-mile border with Russia.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if they were to join NATO, then Putin would lose his shit.
Well, yeah.
You see, guys, you see, Putin doesn't have enough troops to even capture major Ukrainian cities, because he's trying to like collect everybody possible in order to gain at least some of his military goals in Ukraine. For example, at the very start of the war, of this invasion, he attempted to capture major cities like Kharkiv, Sumy, Mykolaiv, and Kiev, of course. And of course, he had no manpower to do that. I mean, he had like 170,000 men, but out of those 170,000 men, you must understand that there's a lot of supply troops. There are anti-air forces, and other troops that don't participate in combat, like in capturing, literally capturing territories. There are conscripts, Russian conscripts. There's probably maybe 25 or something like that, 25,000 of them in this army. Those are young men that literally don't know how to fight, and they are unexperienced, and they are not very combat worthy, let's say. So they had in total like 50 or 60 combat worthy men. And those 60,000, those 60,000 combat-worthy troops were stretched between such cities as Kiev, with population of 2 to 4 million people, Kharkiv, also a couple of million, people living there, and Mykolaiv, and Mariupol, of course, and stuff like that. So, like literally 50,000 men, of course, including their artillery and tanks, but still, it's not such a big power that is enough to capture at least any of those major cities in Ukraine. So currently, Putin is trying to gather as much people as possible in order to gain control over Donbass, and they still fail because like during these 2 or 3 days we had like constant attacks on those major areas of our responsibility, and those attacks were not successful. So I'm not sure whether it's wise to attack, Baltic countries from his point of view, because it's kind of stupid, because he doesn't have enough power to do that, enough military force to reach that goal. But again, it depends on the reaction of the West. Well, that's just my thought.
You know what, right? Firstly, we talk about the Russians. Okay, this is one man. Because I have Russian friends and I've spoken to them about this, and this is one man. One man that's created this fucking like absolute. I can't even, what I'm saying, absolute fucking like the worst case scenario for the 21st century in Europe. Okay, this is one man. This is not Russian people. I've heard stories, of the Russians going into Ukraine and just going, don't know why we're here, thought we was going to get greeted by you, blah, blah, blah. It's absolutely fucking awful. But this is a really, really fucking like a knife edge historical thing that's going on right now. We ain't gonna get the Russian people. Christ, I would not want to be Russian as much as I would not want to be Ukraine, as much as I would not want to be anywhere else or any other fucking any other person on this planet right now because of what's going on. This is a serious fucking shit. This ain't just some war in the Far East. This is this is bigger than that. And I don't even know how else to say, really. I've lost it. But
well, Monkey, we got a few hands up.
Go for it.
Yeah, gather your next wonderful rant, because I know it's coming for sure. And we got David Worley coming in for one here. Oh yeah,
we always love a good rant. So, Starsky, I was reading something on Twitter earlier. I just wanted your thoughts on the general situation. So, The tweet reads as such: "It looks like Russia's war against Ukraine might actually lead to a regime change. But in Germany, a political scandal is looming after members of the coalition government accuses Chancellor Scholz of doing too little to help Ukraine." What do you, I mean, I'm not going to ask about the situation in Germany, I couldn't give a shit, but do you feel you're getting enough from Germany in terms of not just the weapons, but in terms of their relationship with Russian oil and how they have arguably not acted quick enough to enforce economic sanctions and that sort of thing?
I literally I cannot tell you much about our relations with Germany. I remember that during those first days of invasion, and I think before that, I think like a couple of weeks before the invasion, when the anti-tank missiles were delivered to Ukraine. They were delivered by airplanes, cargo airplanes, and those airplanes were avoiding the airspace of Germany, I think. Probably because Germany didn't allow those airplanes to use their airspace. I don't know the exact reason why it was done this way. But I can say that we have received a lot of German anti-tank rockets, and they are pretty good. I can tell they are easy to use, and we have quite a lot of them, and we have used already quite a lot of them against Russian tanks and other armored vehicles. I'm not sure about their political situation. Again, I'm not a political expert, right? I'm a military, and whatever happens to their government and to their Mr. Scholz, right? It's up to German people. I know exactly that a lot of people in European countries as well as in the United States, they have influence on the decisions that are made by their government and their authorities. And the situation is quite similar to what we have here in Ukraine, because here in Ukraine, our people, evolved after this revolution of dignity. They have evolved, so they are how do you say that in English? So they ask our authorities to to make some important decisions, and our authorities make those decisions based on the need of our people. And I think that people in Germany will dictate their will to their authorities as well, because this is how democratic society works.
Yeah, I know Germany was 80% dependent on Russian oil. They say they're trying to cut it down. The one good thing they are doing is they are starting to accept refugees on a large scale. But they're 50-50 at best in their relationship with Ukraine. They've got to get away from that dependency.
Aaron, I wanted to say that I receive like thousands of commentaries from Germany on my YouTube channel from people who expressed their support to Ukraine, and people who say that they also help our refugees, as you mentioned. And I can literally tell that like thousands and maybe millions of German people support Ukrainians, and they don't want this massacre that is going on in Ukraine right now. So yeah, it's all up to to Germans.
I think most of the Western world is with you. It's just a matter of getting our leaders in line with that. Dick, over to you. I know you had a better point of view on that question earlier.
Yeah. Let me just scroll back here. I was in the middle of something there. Where am I here? Where am I? Oh fuck! Where did that goddamn thing go? Okay, here we go. I had a question here from Robsky actually that's coming in. I heard that Kaliningrad is having referendum on whether they should leave the Russian Federation. If that happens, they could join Poland, a NATO country. Putin equals angry. Is that like that's got to be just more for joviality, right?
Yeah, I'll show you some joviality. It must be. It must be. I'll tell you something, right? There's us lot, right? We're all chilling, we're all in our rooms, we're all fucking doing what we're doing, having a drink and whatnot. And here we've got Starsky in a fucking war zone, right at the front line, there as calm and as cool and as collective as he is. And I'll tell you something right now that just shows the fucking heart and soul of the Ukrainian people. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, speaking of which, Monkey,
we do not go.
At the beginning of the conflict, there was this video that went viral, and it was this, 70-year-old Ukraine woman walking up to a Russian soldier, giving him shit and whatnot, and telling him, because I had to get it through translation, that he should be carrying sunflower seeds in his pocket, so when he dies, at least he'll plant sunflowers on Ukrainian soil.
That's a famous one.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That is brilliant.
Fuck
brilliant.
Me. That woman is just all that. Wow.
All that we got and all that we can do, this is another level, isn't it? Fucking hell. Absolute hats off and respect to you, Starsky.
Yeah. Now we got some other questions loaded up. Aaron, do you have any ready there?
Well, I was going to say, Jack has actually been waiting a while if he wants to ask his or makes commentary, and I'll pull up another.
Nah, let's just do questions and then later.
Okay, I'll try to reel through them. We got quite a few. They were actually, someone was wondering, and I don't know if you can disclose this or not, Starsky, what is your rank?
My rank is senior lieutenant. Or first lieutenant, I believe. It's a rank between a lieutenant and a captain. I'm not sure how you call it in the UK.
In the US, you would be a first lieutenant.
First lieutenant, I believe, yes.
Because there's a second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and then it jumps to captain and major.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then, actually, I had a question. How is Hutch doing?
He's doing fine. I had an opportunity to see him like a couple of days ago. I made a picture on my Instagram. He's doing fine. He misses me, of course, because my dog is my closest friend. And then goes my second press officer, of course. So he's doing fine, and he is being cared of. So yeah, I'm kind of confident and happy for him.
That's good. I left town overnight and my cat freaked out, so I can't imagine it. Aaron Dilly asked, the U.S. has announced equipment for 5 155 millimeter artillery battalions have been sent, and Ukraine is training with them. How much is 5 battalions, and will it be enough to make a difference?
5 battalions. Okay, it's almost. Wait a minute. Okay, so it's almost 2,000 men. Let's say this way, almost 2,000 men. Of course it's going to make a big difference because artillery is very important in this war. Ukrainians are shooting precisely, we are targeting precisely their commanders, their command modules, their command centers. We are targeting their supplies and stuff like that. And of course, whenever their troops are getting all together in huge groups, we are targeting their troops, of course. So Ukrainian artillery is famous for performing a very precise fire. So yeah, I think it is going to make a huge difference on the battlefield.
Yeah, I know that I've seen a lot of the coverage. When you don't have a ton of troops, you have to use strategy and precision to execute it. So they've been focusing not just military, but they've got civilians with drones out there spotting targets, taking them out, and it's hurting the Russians very badly. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, and you must understand that they are spending a lot of their ammunition on civilian targets. For example, I cannot imagine if Russians were as precise as we are, and they used all of their ammunition on Ukrainian troops in the efficient way, the way that we are using our ammunition. So yeah, on one hand, this is horrible. I mean, we see horrible pictures of our cities being completely destroyed. And on the other hand, because Russians are so stupid, firing at civilian targets, they give Ukrainian troops a chance to eliminate Russian invaders.
Yeah, I know that they're doing something. So their attempt, essentially, from what I'm reading into it, is we're hurting their economy to get their civilians to tell them to stop and pull out of Ukraine. They are, instead of fighting a war, they're attacking civilians, trying to get Ukrainians to turn against their own country, and it's failing miserably. And this has been going on for years, ever since the invasion of Crimea, and they started stirring up trouble along the border. I think they were trying to break off something similar to Transnistria and Moldova, where it would be a Russian territory within Ukraine, and they picked the wrong people. Just put it very bluntly.
Yeah, definitely. And we have this joke here in Ukraine that whenever Putin is, threatening West, whenever Putin is trying to scare West with, some kind of invasion or his military power, he is shooting or bombing Russian cities every time. So whenever he wants to scare West, he is trying to bomb Voronezh. Well, we are joking here like that. And in this case, he is bombing his Belgorod constantly. He's shooting it with rocket fire from helicopters, missiles, and stuff like that. So yeah, this isn't a joke anymore, unfortunately.
No,
I wish it was.
I don't know if you've seen, it was, I can't remember the name of it. It was something at the gates. It was a movie about World War II, and it talked about the conflict and how they basically use their own soldiers as a wall and let them die in Stalingrad to keep Germans from getting in. And you've got a point now where Russian soldiers would rather turn themselves over to the Ukrainians and risk the possibility of trading back rather than face their own leaders and the fight they're putting them towards. It's ridiculous.
I wonder if they still have those political officers in Russia, where in Stalingrad, you don't take one step back, you will be shot by the political officers. Is that still a thing, Starsky? Do they still have that?
Yeah, they still have that. From what I know, I don't have confirmation for this information, but I know that those Kadyrovians, those pro-Russian Chechens, they are being used as that force.
Wow. And it got to the point where they had one rifle between 3 men, didn't they? So the guy with the rifle gets shot and the next guy picks it up.
They use them as fodder.
Awful.
Yeah, I've had information from our snipers that are working in Rubizhne, and they say that literally they are either stupid or drunk or whatever, because they literally go into combat having just that old steel helmet and some kind of Mosin Nagant rifle, that old rifle, and our snipers say that they are kind of tired of eliminating them, because they are just coming, and they have to shoot them.
A bit like ducks in a row.
Yeah, and they say that they had a lot of hard combat at the range of up to 300 meters, and they say that their trigger fingers were really tired of shooting those people.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Good grief.
There's actually a question related
a lot
to
of
that.
them were just straight out of school, weren't they? These poor boys. I mean, I feel sorry for those poor lads as well. They didn't know where they were going or what they were doing. They're just 18 years old, straight out of school, no proper training, and thrown into the thick of it. It's I can't even find the words to describe it. It's bloody awful.
We had this video of Russian.
Dog in.
Yeah, we had a video of this Russian soldier. He was a POW. He was captured by Ukrainian army, and he called his mother, and his mother didn't believe him. He said that, "Mom, we are doing wrong. We are fighting against Ukrainian people. We don't see a Nazi in Ukraine. There's no Nazi. We are fighting against ordinary people like you, like me." And his mom is like, "What are you lying to me? It's not true." And he's like, "No, it's true. Believe me, because this is what I saw with my own eyes." And she's like, "You must be lying. They must have blackmailed you or something into lying me." And he's like, "Mom," and she hangs up the phone, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, my headphones crapped out. I missed a bit of that, but yeah, it's awful. I mean, it's just awful.
That's one thing we try to do here is dispel, rumors and nonsense about things. Yeah. And one of the things you see in the news is they're trying to say that Ukrainians are Nazis, and that they are discriminating against Russian speakers. Meanwhile, President Zelensky is of Jewish descent and a Russian speaker. So it's lies across the board.
I have no idea what Nazis actually are.
Yeah, I have information for you guys. We are all Nazis, including you, for Russians, because you are against Russian politics. Right. I was lucky to make that video on Russian peace / Russian world, that official Russian ideology. And I was literally amazed that so little people know about that stuff. And literally yesterday I asked some American journalists whether they know anything about this ideology, and they're like, no. So yeah.
Yeah, I read that 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you're against the Russians, you're a Nazi.
What the hell?
That's not what Nazis are.
Guys,
Army.
I have something really, really cool to share. We have a celebrity guest message sent in by a viewer for Putin. So here, let me just play it for everybody.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
So we have to thank Sulu for sending that in. Once again, Putin, you've been shown to be nothing but a...
Get down.
Yo, listen up, right? I've just dropped into some friends of mine and they were like, this can't be your channel. You know, you can't be here talking to this guy for real, blah, 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 right?
It's your channel.
Okay, right, okay. So the point is, right, we have got a geezer right there in the front line, have we not? In the front line fighting this fucking war. Am I right?
You is.
You.
Yes. And I'll tell you something, right? Wow, here we are. People like us just sat here having fun. Okay, I'm going to walk away from them lot. But there's people like us having fun with people around us, right? And then you've got people like Starsky, who is taking the fucking time out to give us his time and have fun. The guy is awesome. I've watched his channel. The guy is fucking awesome, but he's taking the time out to fucking give us some time, right? And I've got friends of mine here that have been like, yeah, we're having a party. And it's like, no, do you know what? This is so much bigger than that. We are right here, right now, fucking live.
Modern day royalty, monkey.
That's it. That's all I got to say. I mean, I had more to say, but I can't be asked to say anymore. So crack on, guys.
All right. Hey, we got Clapper's been waiting to get in. Jack, what you got for us, buddy?
So many things. My mind is just racing. And I don't know how to fit it all in, to be honest, because, we're a little bit pressed for time. Have you seen this sort of interview video with Shoigu, where Putin sits down in front of a table and he's talking with, I believe it's Shoigu, right? His military general guy. I'm not exactly sure. Like, it seems to be a video, like an interview made by Russian propaganda. But something interesting in that video happens in that video. Like, it seems that Putin had some kind of spasm on camera, and it's now turning into a meme. Has anyone actually saw the video of that? Because I haven't. I'm only just catching on.
I don't think I saw that. Well, I've heard a lot of rumors about Putin having some kind of, deathly disease or stuff, but I'm not sure whether it's true.
We can only pray.
You actually have. I sent you that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna do a quick introduction for Claire. She's just dropped in from another stream. How you doing, Claire?
Hey, thank you. Well, I'm glad I made it. I love these conversations. Yeah, always good to see you all.
Cool. Glad you made it. Yeah, this is totally your kind of thing. Thought you'd be right at home.
Oh, yeah. Big brain there.
yeah. Big brain, little clothing. But yeah, that works.
Sure, dick.
We're sorry. Aaron, there's been so many questions we've been putting in the back thing there. I can't even keep up. There was Adrian Boyko. Why does the world allow Russia to appropriate that name? They are just Muscovy. How do I get that out of my mouth properly? Let's not call them Russia anymore. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a pretty good comment, isn't it, there, Starsky?
Yeah, it's true. Russia was actually called Moscovia for all this time until I think 18th century, when I think their Peter I, their Tsar, decided to rename Moscovia into Russia, and they were known as Moscovia for quite a while. Russia, the name Russia comes from the name Rus. There was this big kingdom with its capital located in Kiev. It was called Kievan Rus. Well, it wasn't called Kievan Rus, okay, back in those times. It was called just Rus. So basically, it was a name of a kingdom that was located mainly on the territory of Ukraine, and it originated from Kiev, that was ruled by there was this Prince Key. he had brother Shek, Horiv, and sister Libit. They were founder of Kiev, like 1,500 years ago. And later there were people from Scandinavia, Vikings, Askold, and Dir, who also ruled Kiev for quite a while. And those people, they kind of founded this big kingdom, okay? And other rulers of Kiev, they united all the tribes into one Kiev, into one kingdom that was called Rus. So I think that in 18th century, probably, Russians decided to take this name, and they renamed Moscovia.
That's the ultimate answer. I mean, I would have fumbled through some Wikipedia bullshit and just completely ruined it, right, Aaron? You know?
There's one funny thing. Well, for like decades, even back in USSR times, people in schools were studying the history, and they were studying the history of Kiev on Rus. Currently, Russians are trying to edit their Wikipedia and remove everything dedicated to Kiev. So instead of Kiev on Rus, I think they've had this ancient Rus in order to remove everything dedicated to Kiev. I think there's a lot of battles, ongoing battles in Russian Wikipedia. But we know, well, that they are going to rewrite the history the way they want it.
Yeah,
It's just digital book burning.
Yeah, they've it's that policy as well. It's this general name called Ranchevism, where they want to reclaim everything that used to be part of the USSR. They think that it is their destiny to own it. Adrian Boyko posted, the Muscovites rebranded themselves Russia as part of their imperial fantasy that they're destined to rule all of Rus, now Ukraine, Muscovia, and Belarus. And they want to take back every single country that belonged to the USSR. They think it's theirs.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly the basis of Russian world ideology. Reclaiming back all those territories and Baltic countries and a bunch of Asian countries. And creating that huge empire of supreme people chosen by God, and following the only true religion of Orthodox Christianity of Moscow Patriarchate. So yeah, that's part of that basis that their whole ideology is based upon.
Yeah, and Putin has basically made himself Pope of this fantasy. We had a question. It was from a good while back, but it's definitely a good one. It says, how many Russian soldiers can they lose before they give up? They lost 20,000 in Afghanistan over 10 years, but lost 20,000 in Ukraine in a month. What do you think it's going to take to break them and get them to go the hell back to their own country?
As much as we can. I think that we should eliminate as much as it's possible, probably, because I can't give you the precise number, of course. Probably they will use everything and everyone they can, because, for example, in Kharkiv, we already saw that they were using their training officers, their drill officers, in order to capture the city. I mean, for example, there are combat units, okay, the infantry units, airborne units, and stuff. Also, there are training units. Those are like bases, like schools for military specialists, NCOs and stuff. And personnel of those schools were used were used for attacking a city, and they are not supposed to be used like that because they have a different purpose. They are instructors. They train people, but they were used as a regular military force. So it means that they were already using their reserves. They were using their reserves because they lacked enough manpower.
Yeah, it's basically like throwing the bullets instead of putting them through the gun. They're robbing themselves of their ability to train and put more troops into place. That's a fatal error. It's desperate.
We got a super sticker, super chat in there.
Yes, we did.
R&R, yeah, $5. Aimee, what is that? Critical hit? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that one. That's so cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
All right,
I need glasses. Sorry. But yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just going to say, we're getting near the time to wind down. It's almost 15 minutes, too. Do you want to start going through the outros and the thank yous?
Well, there was a few extra questions we wanted to get to. So I was thinking we could kind of push the boundaries. Let's run questions till the top of the hour and then kick in the, the goodbyes and everything. Let's just give it a few extra. It's totally worth it tonight,
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got. I've got a million questions, but I'm trying to sort through the crowd's questions right now. Did anybody else on the panel have anything?
Well, we've got another super chat from Donna Quinn there for $4.99. Tea and honey for Starsky's cold. And then Starsky, I hope you can see it on the screen there because I can't get through that. It's not happening. I do believe with the UA after it that we're looking at Slava Ukraini or something very similar.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think that Ukraine will have a really a really how you call it in English? Oh my God, my English sucks so much tonight.
No, you're doing good.
Yeah, doing amazing.
Our country will have a lot of opportunities after the war, I think, because because so many people around the globe are supporting us today. So yeah, I think that Slava Ukraini is going to become is going to come true. Let's call it this way.
Good shout.
It's actually really interesting. Like, apart from giving as much money as I can, and like within my boundaries, within my current boundaries, I also wanted to get those post stamps, and I was asking people that I know that are kind of maybe can find time in this crazy time to send me one, but obviously they're at war. So I trolled around and found out that you can actually order one online and it be sent to you to a different country. I sound like a complete asshole saying all of this. I can feel just this just by saying all of this, but in fact the site got of Ukraine Post got overloaded to a point that they said, you know what, they sent me an email. They said, we are overloaded and we can't send you anything. We canceled all orders, and we only are going to allow one sheet of those stamps per person. That's how much demand. And just imagine the money. They printed stamps and they ran out to a point that they said, no, we can only send one per person. Sorry, that's it. That's gonna be it. Enjoy your stamps. I was like, wow, holy crap! There's gonna be so much money poured into Ukraine when they win.
That's
Bro,
insanity.
I gotta agree with you, and I've been asked by my friends, even here. I mean, my friends from my brigade. I've been asked a lot of times whether I have those stamps, and I said no. Why? And they're like, we literally we can't buy them because there's no stamps left, and thing is that Ukrainian people already spent so much money on Ukrainian army. They've spent millions supporting Ukrainian army that defends our people, because our army and our people are the same. And that's why this is so funny, every time Russians lie about some Azov bandits who received orders to shoot people, it's so crazy, because Ukrainian army only exists because it's supported by our people. That's the only reason why we are still fighting.
Yeah, I've actually seen some of the stamp people are selling shirts online, and they might as well be counterfeits. None of the money's going to Ukraine, and that's severely frustrating to see that happening.
Oh, there's a lot of scumbags that are making money on this. Not gonna lie, I've seen it.
We had a question earlier from Right On and On, and this is for the whole group, but definitely want Starsky to comment first. It says, what does the whole group think of the Islamic extremists being egged on to join in? Is it widespread, or is it just TikTok crap?
I think it's TikTok crap. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard about that. The main thing I've heard, so basically the Russian lies, they're now saying that we are the U.S. Sorry, I shouldn't say we do have people from other nations on here, but the U.S. We got a super chat. Hello from Spain, from Christian. I'm having trouble seeing the name there.
We got two. Aaron, if we hand it over to Aimee, I think she's got them loaded and ready.
I do. And it was, so what we've got here, we've got 3 messages here. We've got one from Gary Isle of Wight. He says, come and join us Friday nights for pub chat. It's a right laugh. Then we have a super chat from Cats for 10 pounds sterling, says Slava Ukraini from Katriona. And then we have also Christian Sabate Marti for €2 says, hello from Spain. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Great shouts, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
And then,
Aaron, take it away there.
I was just going to say that basically they're saying the U.S. is coordinating and developing bio weapons just on near the border with Ukraine, and that's what they're using. They're telling their people. And the sad thing is, it's bleeding over the borders because Estonia completely cut the feeds on all Russian channels for their citizens. Well, they ran out and they started buying antennas to put it up. So their lies bleed out, and I'm seeing them all over the place on the internet as well. Just false stories left and right.
It's actually really interesting because Latvia, surprisingly, like people that were born in Latvia, they grew up speaking pretty much perfect Russian. And they also, a fun fact, their internet, I'm not sure, maybe it's changing right now, but usually when you would use a VPN like me and switch from Poland to Latvia, for example, you would go to sites like Google, and Google, rather than loading up, maybe it's the VPN, I'm not sure, but it's always, I've seen it from multiple ones. There's a pattern. They switch to Google Google Russia pretty much, and you can access through Latvia a lot of, for example, you can bypass a lot of restrictions in Belarus. Set in Belarus, for example, websites, they completely started cutting off European traffic in, like government websites, all of that. But through Latvia, it seems that they somehow are using some kind of internet. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but and surprisingly, like Latvians, they speak Russian. It was one hell of a discovery for me, to be honest. like it was recent, not too long ago, because I never paid attention to them. That's kind of what I wanted to get out. And they also consume a lot of Russian content, it turned out. It's fascinating to me. So they also are going to, just like Estonians, they're going to do the same thing probably. Once the government is going to start pulling the plugs. If
sounds like we've got a couple of super chats, Aimee, if you want to take care of those.
Yes, please, I do. I've got one from Alish Hing for €5. Says, Starsky, how do you think this war will end? Slava Ukrainian Russian warship. And then we have a second one before you answer that question. It said, Gary Isle of Wight for £5 says, for the goodness you do, and possibly beer too. So thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so I think that we will win. I think that Russia will run out of its power. Of course, it's running out of its supplies. Probably there will be some mass protest actions in Russia, because their society is highly polarized right now. A lot of people don't support their invasion in Ukraine, but again, they cannot protest much because they will get arrested. And we know that there's really like harsh legislation regarding those protests. But well, in my personal opinion, some kind of unexpected crazy crap is going to save us. What I mean is that, for example, in 2015, Russians attempted to shoot down a big Russian airplane full of people, full of civilians, over the territory of Ukraine. But instead of that, their missile destroyed MH17, Malaysian Boeing, which fell down on the Russian-controlled territory of Donbass, and it was a huge tragedy, which opened a lot of eyes on Russia. Because later there was this investigation that concluded that Russian book surface-to-air system was brought from Russia to the territory of Donbass, and as we know, until this February, Russians claimed that there were no Russian troops in Donbass, but appeared, of course, that they used their own vehicles and stuff. So it was unexpected, and I think that something like this may happen sooner or later, and this is something that we keep waiting for. So I think that we can expect some unexpected crazy crap, as I call it.
Yeah, they're kind of out of control. We had a comment from Xena B. Actually, I think the biolab paranoia came from something that had to do with Western doctors going over to Chernobyl victims. They did the same after Vietnam too. Russians have a history of using, they sow a story about biological or chemical weapons, and then they use them and either blame it to the victims or blame it on the victims or the opposition rather than taking credit themselves. So there's a good chance they're setting up for that eventuality.
Yes, that is true. I've heard one really nice saying that if you want to know the plans of Russians, you gotta learn what they are accusing you of. So yes, in case they are accusing us of creating biological weapons and those viruses spread by insects and
pigeons.
And pigeons and stuff. That's very fine. I remember that a lot of people laughed in the UN when they presented this information. Yeah, but I think that we can expect them using some kind of that crap. We also had information of some kind of chemical weapons probably gas that was used in Mariupol like a week ago, and I think that we are still not sure what kind of gas was that, because it's really hard to find remains of that bomb, that container, and bring it to Kiev, because obviously Mariupol is surrounded. But this case was reported by our police and our militaries. So yeah, probably it's possible. We know for sure that in 2015, Russians already used chemical weapons on the territory of Donetsk, specifically the Donetsk airport that was defended by Ukrainian forces, and it was a heroic defense that lasted for 242 days. The situation was pretty much similar to what's going on currently in Azov Steel, because it was held by a small amount of Ukrainian warriors, and Russians attempted to capture this location using their elite troops that constantly failed. And in this Donetsk airport, in the end, Russians asked Ukrainian soldiers whether they can take the bodies, and our soldiers said that, yeah, of course you can. So Russians brought explosives, and while taking their bodies, they planted explosives around that airport, and they killed a lot of Ukrainian soldiers. After they kind of took those bodies back to their positions. So we had a reported case of Russians using the gas on the territory of the airport, and it's documented. So yeah, and of course we all remember Syria. We remember Ghouta. We remember that Russians were using that Syrian air forces were using the same containers with same markings that were used by Russians, and there's plenty evidences that those containers have the same markings that Russian gas bombs have. So
yeah, that's definitely their pattern. We had another super chat if you want to take that, Aimee.
Yes, please. And I'm going to directly translate it into English for you because my pronunciation will be bad, and I apologize for that. It's for the glory and the power of Ukraine from Lokifish Marz for $2 American. Thank you so much, Loki.
All right, and it looks like we're actually up on the hour. If we want to start the wind down, do you want to start taking care of that, Aimee?
Yes, please. I think that would be a good idea. Thank you so much. So I'm going to start right out. I think we should just get right cracking right on it. So first, I'm going to start out with who I always do, with Mipet 69. Mipet, what were your thoughts on this evening?
Thanks, Dick. I was gobsmacked. It's just incredible. As I said, I missed the last one, and I'm really glad that I set my alarm to get up with this one this morning. It's just incredible what you go through over there, and you guys are just doing amazing. I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. And, that's very rare for me. I usually, as you guys all know in the Shills, I don't do that very often. But I have a huge respect for what you're going through. And I just hope that this is all over sooner rather than later for you guys. And, holy shit is all I can say. Is that's the PG version. Huge respect to you, Starsky, and great to meet you. But yeah, huge respect.
Thank you very much. I will pass your words to my guys as much as I can.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That would be great.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mipet. And next up, we have Claire S. Bear. Claire, what are your thoughts on this evening? Hello.
Oh, hello. Well, I did come in late, but I just want to say how much I appreciate having that conversation and for Starsky to come in and share with us all of the information to keep us up to date, to give a better understanding of what is actually happening. And just offer so much support to you and so taken aback at how strong and how dedicated everyone is there, and just the gratitude for the information and being so open and honest with us with everything that's going on. So thank you, Starsky.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next up, we have Jut Monk the Drunk Monkey. Jut, what are your thoughts on the evening?
Well, I was just fucking going for a slash. Okay, and I had to take my dick out of my hand. No, seriously, I tell you what, Starsky, you are an absolute inspiration. I put a video out 2 days ago to say that you are the epitome and of the Ukrainian people. You guys are fucking amazing. I am absolutely blown away. Wow. If I could be proud of being any nationality other than the nationality that I am, I would be proud to be a Ukrainian human being right now. You guys are fucking awesome. Starsky, keep it up, bro.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. You guys are fucking awesome.
Thank you, Monkey. And next up, we have David Worley. David, what are your thoughts on the evening?
Wonderful to be back. What I really wanted to throw out there is mainly the idea that it was said earlier, and I want to reiterate it. The reason why you're fighting is exactly the reason why you're going to win. And it's so evident to us. Maybe it's propaganda, but I doubt it. The Russians are fighting because of an authority that is telling them what to do, and as soon as that authority, for whatever reason, isn't there anymore, they're going to stop fighting. But you, if they get to Zelensky, if they get to other important people, you're still going to keep fighting, because ultimately you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for liberty. You're doing it for democracy. So just keep going, keep fighting, and we're all with you.
Can I just say, it's not the Russian people. We cannot, 100%, we cannot take it out on the Russian people, because I have Russian friends that are as disgusted with what's going on as we are. We cannot take it out on the Russian people. We have to take it on one fucking man.
No, not one man.
Fucking stupid.
It's the leaders in the military, but we'll let Aimee continue, right? Otherwise, we won't stop, because that's a can of worms, Monkey. You just opened a big one.
Yes, let's just continue wrap-ups, please. Next up, we have Clapper Jack. Clapper Jack, what are your thoughts on this evening?
I really liked it. I really appreciate that Starsky came back on. And I really wish there was a little bit more time, but I'm happy that we got what we got. And I just want to say, as a finishing off kind of thought thing, that the people of Belarus are with Ukraine. Every single one of us that's not, like into the Soviet stuff and not stupid and drunk and whatever. People that really want to be free. We are with you. We never wanted this. And the thing that my government is doing right now is just, being a puppet and being invaded and used to attack Ukraine. It's so mind-numbing. It's really hard to walk outside in Poland and just see people that are just living their lives like normal. And even in Belarus right now, there's people living their lives like nothing's happening. everything's fine. Just going to work. Whatever. It's complicated. It's really complicated. It really rips my freaking soul apart. But most of us are with you, and we hope that you're going to win.
I think nearly all of us are with you. Nearly all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Aaron Reese. Aaron, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Just thoughts on this evening and just generally what Starsky's doing. People underestimate how important information is to war. They take and they focus on the guns and the soldiers, and those are important. But going all the way back to World War II with the BBC radio, communicating into and out of hostile territories, what Starsky's doing is important. It's a really great tradition. It helps us know what's going on there and make personal contact with it, so that we're not just seeing this in a sterile news presented environment. So, keep up the good work. I wake up every day, and on my schedule, usually your video is the first one I see, and I can't tell you how glad I am to see it. And just thank you for coming here and taking the time to clue us and all the people in the audience into what is going on, and just going so in depth on the topic. So take care of yourself, help take care of your fellow soldiers. Slava Ukraini.
Thank you very much. I will do my best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Gary, Isle of Wight. Gary, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Oh, excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat. I never thought I'd be in a position to actually speak to somebody that is in the thick of it. So I'm very pleased that I've had the opportunity to. And as I said earlier, you and your people are an absolute perfect example to the rest of the world on staying up. I'm sorry. Your resilience is just an inspiration. So thank you, Starsky, for letting me be part of this conversation.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much. And next up, we do have our special guest tonight that I would like to get to first. If you have any words that you would like to say to everyone, please, Operator Starsky, anything you want to say. And thank you.
Well, once again, I would like to express my appreciation to everyone who supports my country and my people, because it's very important for us. Once again, big thanks to all those who help our refugees, because our soldiers are confident that their families are fine, which is again very important for us, because we need our minds to be here like 100%. And if you're not sure whether your family is safe or not, you're partially here and partially with them, and yeah, it creates a lot of problems. So we have to be cold-minded, we have to be professionals, and we have to do our job well. That's why you are also helping us in this regard. And of course, big thanks for you guys for having me with you tonight. It was my pleasure, and I hope that I have answered some of your questions. And thanks to Clapperjack, my ex-USSR buddy, who helped me a lot with shaping my thoughts the way to be acceptable by Western audience. Yeah, this is very important also. So thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. And Slavo Ukraini.
Heroям slava. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Dick Dawson. Dick, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Well, during a time of absolute tragedy, when a total piece of human trash like Putin thinks he can just, pull a Genghis Khan and just rampage across the map like it's his. We have been in quite a special situation. We've had Clapperjack, a friend of the channel for a while now, who told us the story of being in Belarus and, you know, blasting off to Poland right before shit went down, and then was joining us to give us the real deal on how shit was going down. Clapper's been very active in our Discord server, in our news channel for current news, really laying down what's really going on. And then we were, you know, everything fell into place because we met Operator Starsky. And so now to have the two of them together and be able to do these streams and bring this out to everybody is, it's a very special thing that I'm quite, you know, happy that our channel is able to do, but I'm very saddened that our channel has to do it. It shouldn't even be. So
absolutely.
You know, if you're anyone of means, and even if you only have like, you know, $50 in your pocket at the end of the month and it's like extra, you know, there's links out there where you can help support the Ukraine effort, the humanitarian effort. And your dollars going in is seriously helping to make sure that the people of the country can be okay while the fighters of the country step up to try to fight off this unbelievable heinous action by Putin. You motherfucking son of a bitch. You are the worst human being on earth at this moment. Maybe not ever, but at this moment you definitely are. You sorry ass sack of shit. But Aimee, take us out. What are your thoughts and wrap-ups for the night?
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank everyone on the panel for coming. And I also want to thank everyone in the chat for coming as well. This is vitally important that we get out the right information with Operator Starsky on the ground where, you know, in the thick of things. I want to thank him especially as well for being so brave and fighting for Ukraine and all of, you know, and his country and something really stuck out to me too about what he said about making sure that those families stay safe so that they can concentrate fully on their missions. That's vitally important too. So if you can help out the refugees, please do so. There are more and more coming out each day, so please help them as much as you can, you know, be supportive and everything like that. I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming. I want to thank everyone on the panel for coming as well. And I want to say, you know, and please make sure that this information gets out so that people can see what's really going on and just be mindful of misinformation as well. So
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
I think at this point, there's only one shout to make before we send it off. Slava Ukraine!
Slava Ukraine!
Slava Ukraine.
Fucking come at ya! Fuck you! Slava Ukraine!
Get off your tiger and go home, Putin, you fucking son of a bitch.